Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to go through the Forex market outlook and highlight some key currencies to watch for the week ahead. So looking at the strength and weakness table, we can see that the market has moved more into a risk-off sentiment with the likes of the US dollar and Japanese yen gaining value, and our risk assets such as the Australian dollar has been losing value. So we're looking for that to continue this week, especially focusing on that Australian dollar. It's very weak at the moment and expecting a further decline here. We're also expecting some further declines to the euro as well as the Canadian dollar. So looking for these currencies to drop against our safe haven assets such as the US dollar and Japanese yen. So we're going to take a look at some charts. If I'll just bring in, here we go. So here we have the US dollar index. As you can see, that the market has recently broken through this key high made back in December, and now the market's broken out of this level, this key resistance area. I'm expecting the market to continue to move higher, expecting that dollar to continue to get stronger into this 98.41 level where we may see some kind of retracement. So expecting the dollar to continue to gain value this week, and yeah, so keep looking for those moves on the dollar index, and we can line that up with euro dollar continuing to move lower. The support level comes in a little bit earlier than on the dollar index on euro dollar, around about this 1.1 area. You can see previously in the past the market double bottomed here and rallied, so I'm expecting the market to come and retest that, and then it's about what happens at that point. Will it break? Will it bounce? Do we get a breakout of this level where we could use it as resistance to trade down to the key weekly lows, or is it going to bounce up back into these lows around about the 1.1065 and then use that area as resistance for some downside? So these are a couple of options I'm looking at the moment on euro dollar. On the short term sort of basis with this, if we just go down into a 4-hour time frame, there's a nice little base around about that 1.1065. so if we don't get to this key support straight away, we could look for a pullback into our key averages, into this key level and zone. So if we just look at the previous breakout lows as well, somewhere around here, this would be a great area to look for some short positions. So if we don't touch that support and we do pull back, I'll be looking for resistance between that 1.1080 and 1.1060 for some further shorting opportunities like so. Moving on, let's go down to the Australian dollar. Again, starting to see a push lower. If we're just bringing this weekly time frame in, we can see that we look likely that we're heading towards these key weekly lows, and I fully expect that to come to fruition as this coronavirus outbreak continues to grow. So if we just go into a daily time frame, what we're looking at, we can see that we gapped down over the weekend and the market's just pushing into these key lows. Hopefully we get some kind of relief around about this 0.657, 0.6760 sort of area, because if we do, then we could look for those further short opportunities. So looking at the 4-hour at this point, there's some really nice lows just coming in around about 6.830, where those recent 4-hour lows broke out of. So if we do get a pullback again, I'll be looking for the market to rally up into this sort of area and look to move lower. The trends quite sharp here, so if we do continue to get reports and we do start seeing more money flow into sort of the risk off assets such as the US dollar, we may not actually see such a decent pullback as we want to see. We may only get some short-term cycles. So I'll be watching this key level closely. If we get a small break and retest, we may have to look at a lower time frame for a key opportunity here. So we'll just see how the price reacts to this support if it does get there. If it doesn't and it starts to pull back, then I'm going to be looking for those short opportunities at those key resistance points. Okay, back up in this area as well will be a close close of that weekend gap, which would also be a good area to look for that short opportunity in line with our weekly estimates. Going to Kiwi dollar, it looks like we're going to see Kiwi continue to sell off as well, more back into this area around about the 6,500. Looking at the daily time frame, we've already broken into new lows, which suggests to me that we are going to see a bit of a continued move down. So I'm going to look for short opportunities on this as well. We may be coming to see the market retest that inverse head and shoulders pattern, which you can see down here. This is the neckline around about 6.4, 6.5. So if we do get here, then I would expect another bounce. But you know, we'll have to wait and see. I think we could get some short-term pullbacks on Kiwi dollar as well. So just going into that 4-hour time frame again, you can see we're starting to pull back now, which is a good sign. If we can get that pullback into these lows, I would be looking for some shorts on the lower time frame, maybe into an hourly or somewhere around there. And if we can get that pullback, there could be a good shorting opportunity with stops above these key swing highs in here. So keep your eye on Kiwi dollar as well. 6.580 to 6.590 would be where I'd put some alerts to see if we can get a retracement at that point. Obviously, looking at the risk-off assets as well, you know, looking at those currencies that could be affected, the Japanese yen, and another currency that we like the look of was Canadian dollar moving short. So if we just look at the weekly time frame and break down what's happening here, we can see that there's a key support level around about 81.65, which could act as a support level if price was to continue to drop further. So again, just diving into these lower time frames, the daily time frame, looking for those key resistance points where we could look for continued short opportunities. And we can see this area here around about 83 offers a good resistance point, where you can see in the past the market has bounced numerous amounts of times from this level. So if we do get a pullback into here or into these previous 4-hour lows, then again, dive into those lower time frames, looking for those opportunities for a continuation of that CAD yen short. Another one that we can look at, obviously looking at the Dow Jones, a nice big drop on the Dow. If I actually just bring in the CFD instead, a bit clearer. So you can see here the Dow's obviously pushing it a lot low. If I go to the weekly time frame as well, we can see that it kind of topped out here around about the 2940s, 29400s. So looking for the continuation pullback on this, and this will also feed into that risk off sentiment. You know, if the stocks start to fall back into these key support points, then we are still likely to see the risk off assets grow, such as the yen, the dollar, and gold. So keep your eye on the Dow Jones. If this drops, then typically the yen will follow. So looking for these key support points to get out of any sort of yen positions. But if the market ends up back at this sort of 27400 area, this could be a great buying opportunity from this key support. So I want the price to really drop here on the Dow for a good opportunity in there. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching this video update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more trading content, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.